Welcome to the course orientation video for Biology 633. The title of the course is Molecular and Cellular Evolution. I didn't pick that title. It was already generated before I came to the university, but it's maybe just a little bit inaccurate. Cellular evolution really doesn't mean much of anything, so molecular evolution is maybe a better umbrella title for the course. The purpose of this video is to give you an overview of how the course will work, what is expected of you, and what materials you have available and how to access them. So when you log on to Blackboard, you will see this initial screen. It might look a little different as announcements change. You won't see some of the items here that I'm working on that I only see as an instructor. But this is the first time I've administered and taught this course online, and so I'll be developing it and developing lectures and other material online, and so those will appear as I do that. I'll try and get about a week ahead at least. The course is asynchronous, which means that material is posted, lectures, other items, and you have your selection of times of when you'd like to complete it. Now, that doesn't mean that there aren't due dates. There are still things that you have to complete by certain due dates. If you turn them in late, you'll receive reduced credit, or for some of them, you can't turn them in late. And so we'll review that so you know what to expect and how to make sure that you keep on top of everything for the semester. The first thing we're going to look at here under the links is the syllabus. The syllabus is simply a Word document. You can access it at any time. If you'd like a hard copy, feel free to do that. But let's review it now. So because this is an online course, there'll be a few little different things than in previous semesters. There is no text required for this course. We don't have a single good textbook, but there will be lots of reading assignments. All of those reading assignments are provided for you, and you can see them here in the readings folder. My office on campus is in the Science Building 3.110, but I'll be there periodically or in my research lab, but I think most of you won't be on campus anyway. If you need to contact me directly, send me an email, and we can arrange to meet in person, that's all right, but much of what we'll be doing this semester will be done electronically. My email address is here. That's the very best way to get a hold of me. The phone number, not very good, but send me an email. Now, office hours are going to be done remotely on Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 3 to 4 p.m. via Zoom. The link is here. That is an open time, so it's yours to use if you need to ask questions, if you need to review anything, if you're struggling with an assignment, please look at those times and try and log on. If you can't log on during those times, send me an email and we can make an appointment and then meet via Zoom and go over things that way. We can screen share and other things it works fairly well. Because this is an online course, you need to have good internet connection and you need to have a reliable computer that you can use. That's just the nature of the online courses. If you have a Mac, that will work, although PC is preferred. We will be using a number of software applications that are free. Everything we're going to do is going to be on freeware. I'm going to try and introduce you to methods and approaches that are used commonly in the field. But I don't want to have to use 20 different software packages and have you learn each one. And so we're going to stick primarily to one called Mega and online platforms that allow anyone with an internet connection to do some of these analyses. Okay. There's a list of course objectives here. You can review those and go over those. We'll be going through those pretty much in this order as we go through the course. Lectures will be posted online. This is the first one. They'll all be available on YouTube with links that are posted on Blackboard. These are asynchronous. You can watch them at any time, but please try and keep up. If you fall behind a day or two, it's usually not a big deal, especially for lectures. However, if you get behind too much, you'll have to cram it all in, and that's just not conducive to learning. So please try and follow the schedule. Originally, the class was scheduled for a Monday, Wednesday in-person meeting. So I'm going to post material, lectures, and other due dates primarily on that schedule, and we'll look at the calendar here once we finish with the syllabus. There are readings every week, usually for every class period, for Monday and for Wednesday. These are posted on Blackboard. Most of them are already there. I need to do a little bit of updating and organization for that. Part of your grade will be quizzes that are based on both the reading material and the lecture material. Now, again, if you skip over the readings or skim through them, you don't have to memorize the reading materials, but this is an upper division graduate course, so you will need to read them. You will need to be familiar with them. The quizzes are online, so they're open notes. You can look at those papers, but you should read them before you take the quizzes for the week. You should complete all of the material, be it a lecture, a reading assignment, a project. All those should be completed before you take the quiz. The quizzes are listed each Wednesday, unless there's an exam, then there's no quiz that week. But the quizzes are listed each Wednesday. However, you have until Friday at midnight to do the quizzes. That gives you ample time. So you should be completing all of the material for that week on a Wednesday, but if you need to push it back a little bit, that's fine. You can finish it on Thursday and maybe even Friday, but just be aware, if you are pushing those assignments till the very, very last minute, then if you run into a technical error or some other sort of a glitch, you're going to have less options for completing those. If you're trying to do it on a Wednesday or a Thursday, just send me an email and we can deal with the problem. If it's a Friday, that's kind of the risk you're running for procrastinating. All of our projects will be administered online. I'll post little short video guides. Some of that will be in the daily lectures, but for most of them, I'll also post a little run through or help video to help you do it. You are probably going to run into some technical glitches. That's just, maybe not glitches, but some things you might not know exactly what to do. That's part of making sure that you give yourself ample time to complete them. That way, if you get stuck or run into a problem, we can deal with it. If you're trying to finish it up on the very last day, well, that's again the risk you're running for procrastinating. Okay, but you can use the Zoom sessions or make an appointment with me, and we can deal with any of those issues and go through with them and either help you with them or figure out a workaround. We'll look at the calendar here and see when they're due. They are on the date that they are listed is the due date on the calendar. I'll also post them in the daily links folder, which will be a nice kind of a day-by-day place where you can look on and make sure you're keeping up with the material. If you turn in one of these projects late, they're smaller projects, but if you turn in one late, every day you turn it late is 25% off, in addition to whatever other points you might have missed because of the work on the project. Okay. We'll have 3 midterms and a comprehensive final exam. These will all be administered online. There'll be a mix, about 50-50, of multiple choice questions and written questions, short answers. You won't have long essays. I don't think that's conducive to learning. But because these are also administered online, again, you have open notes, whatever resources you want to use. However, those do need to be a product of your own work. If you're typing and pasting or transcribing word for word, that's plagiarism. You can use people's ideas, right? So technically you can plagiarize people's ideas, but at this level I don't expect you to be generating your own ideas, but I do expect you to be expressing the ideas that we learn in class, the ideas that you get from other people's papers, that you need to express them in your own words. Cutting and pasting or typing word for word will be counted as plagiarism, and you'll miss that entire question and run the risk of having a 0 for that exam, and potentially, if it's very egregious, of being getting a 0 for the course, or I've never had to do this or resort to this, but that's considered cheating and is a grounds for expulsion if it's too egregious. Okay, so just be aware of that, and usually not an issue. And again, I tell my students at this level, if you're not copying and pasting words, if you're not looking at them and transcribing phrases or sentences word for word, you're not plagiarizing. You can use those ideas and incorporate them, just rephrase them and put them into your own words. Okay. All of the material that we go over in the course, be it from readings, from the posted video lectures, or these assigned projects, that's all fair games for those unit exams. Okay. This just says don't cheat, just like we already talked about. Don't cheat, don't plagiarize. At the end of the semester, you'll be graded on this scale. Your exams, all weighted equally, so all 4 exams, each one will be about 15% of your overall grade, for 60% total of your grade coming from exams. The projects will be 25% of your overall grade, and again, you'll have guidelines. The first project is due in about 2 weeks, and I'm working on the video guidelines, but I'll introduce you in the third video for Monday, August 24th. You'll get begin to get some of the tools you'll need to complete that project. And then finally, a weekly quiz, and the weekly quizzes will be counted as 15% of your overall grade. If you have a 90% or above, you get an A, 80% above, or B, or so on. Now, realize that no matter where I draw the lines on those grades, there are always going to be some students that fall just short of whatever the next grade level is. So if you have an 89.9 at the end of the semester, that is not an A, it's a B. I don't round up. And in the long run, it all works out. Sometimes you barely make, for a class, you barely make one grade level and you squeak by with an A. I have yet to have a student come to me and say, Dr. Terry, I got a 90.01%. I don't really deserve the A. Could you please round that down to a B? The only way for me to be fair to all students, and I know it's hard. Sometimes you just fall just short, but sometimes you just, for a class, you barely squeak over the line. And I know it can be difficult, but the only way for me to be fair is to set the standards at the beginning of the semester and then just stick to them. I don't do extra credit. Your grade is a measure of your performance throughout the semester, how well you keep up and how well you master the material. So there's no, it is what it is at the end of the semester. If you come to me and ask me to round a grade up or ask for extra credit, I'll just gently, politely remind you of this course policy, and that's the way that you will be assessed at the end of the semester. This is just some information about online, things that we've already talked about. So review that, make sure you're aware of that policy. You may not need disability assistance. That's fine. Hopefully you won't at all throughout the semester. But if you do, it's there and available. So if you have, God forbid, a diagnosed illness or an accident, please access their material there online and communicate with me. Okay, but that resource is there. So let's take a look at the calendar now. So in the same folder, you've got a link. It's a PDF file of the course calendar. The calendar is a way for you to get a big picture view of what's going on in the semester and what you need to be prepared for. Each day, the topics of discussion are listed here. If there's a reading assignment, we don't have one for the first day's class, it will be listed there. So when you see a reading assignment, P1, you come to the readings folder over here, and you'll see that corresponding paper with the same designation, P1 through however many. And these, I'm updating these a little bit, but the first several are there and ready for you to go. Okay, so you can begin reading those. But again, they're listed for the reading. So read papers, or at least review them, go over them so you're familiar with them before you watch the video or go over the material for that day. Our first project is due a week from Monday. I'll give you some of the outlines for it today, and within a day or two you'll see the guidelines and requirements for that project posted. So you are held for all these dates. A quiz is posted each Wednesday, and it will be available on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. Again, I recommend taking that a little bit earlier rather than later. The project due dates, you basically have one every 2 weeks. These are small, should take an hour or two for you to complete those. And if you plan ahead, those should be easy for you to complete, and you get them done in time. We've got a holiday coming up. So again, this is big picture plan. Make sure you're aware of this. You can use this, print it, or just refer to it throughout the semester as you need it. Now, in addition to the calendar, I have also posted as the second item here on our list a daily links folder. And the daily links is divided into units. When you click on a unit, you'll see the things that are required or that are available for you for each of those days. So on Monday, August 24th, we're going to do orientation and talk about DNA mutation, and then an introduction to the software Mega that we'll be using. And so you click on that link, that folder, and there you go. This is the course introduction video that you're watching right now. For the rest of the day, you have 2 other videos to watch, and that will complete your assignment for the first day. So this also is a good way. You can just log on each week, review those again on Monday, on Wednesday, but it's a good idea to refer to the course calendar so you know what's coming up and you don't have some surprise sprung on you. Like you look on the list and say, oh, there's a a project due today. Oh no, I never saw it. Well, that might be the case if you hadn't looked at the course calendar, but otherwise it will be there and be available for you. I will post PowerPoints here. I'm going to do some editing, but they will come up as soon as the videos are available. The PowerPoint for that video will be available also. So some students like to use that. Some students don't. That's fine. It's just the PowerPoint file for the same thing that we're going over in the videos. The readings, again, are all in this folder. Projects with explanations and outline will appear here. The quizzes will appear in this folder each week. You'll do your first one on Wednesday, August 26th. And exams, when those exams are up there, will appear there. And so that's the material that you have for the course. Remember, if you need to get in touch with me, you can send me an email. I also have those weekly Zoom meetings on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The link is here. I do have other classes, and so you might see students from other classes in those Zoom meetings also, but typically they aren't too crowded, and you can use that as a great resource for reviewing stuff, asking me questions on things you didn't understand, or just things you're interested in relating to the course, or reviewing assignments, and we can do that there. If that doesn't work for you, send me an email, and let's make an appointment. This is going to be somewhat of a challenging course. If you have not had an evolution course as an undergraduate, you might struggle. If you have had an evolution course, you're going to see some review material. We're going to go into a lot more depth, but it should be a good tool for you to remember and think back on that evolution course.